Rise and shine, Apocalypse Scouts. Today we are talking about canning vegetables. When the zombie apocalypse rolls around, food will play an important role. Here at the Art of the Apocalypse, we live by a very simple rule. Eat food, don't be food. And the less dependent you are on the local supply chain and the local grocery store, the better your odds are at surviving the critical first wave of a zombie apocalypse. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Crazy Conspiracy Dude, your pre-apocalyptic source for post-apocalyptic information. Using digital media to prepare for the collapse or ascendance of digital technologies, this is the Art of the Apocalypse.
You're listening to Radio Free Apocalypse.
We have left the city for a while to do some work on our garden. If you have access to a bit of land, you might want to consider growing a garden or raising chickens. This will give you year-round access off the grid to the freshest eggs and the most nutritious foods. We're going to be here a lot for the next few months, although it's too early to harvest anything here just yet, except for some lettuce and eggs and a few strawberries. By August, this land will be covered with more fruits and vegetables than we could possibly eat all at once. Rather than sneak around at night, secretly leaving bags of cucumbers on our neighbors' doorsteps, most of what comes out of this garden will be preserved in jars of ketchup and tomato sauce and pumpkin puree, roasted peppers, sauerkraut, plum sauce, raspberry and cherry jam, and a whole bunch of pickles. Now, although this canning won't happen for a few more months, today we're going to pickle some cucumbers and carrots to try out some new recipes ahead of the harvest. All right? Follow me.
The towel in the bottom is to protect the jars. And so this is an old school, low-level hot water bath. This method conserves energy and can be done in a smaller pot and with less water. For maximum sterilization, though, the tops of the jars should be an inch below water. But in the apocalypse, this method will work. These are some jars from last year. Mushrooms, pears, peppers. They all use different recipes, but as a general rule, most vegetables can be preserved with a solution of at least 50% vinegar and at least 10 minutes in boiling water.
And this is a jar of sliced pickles from 2020. Let's take a look. You can see the rubber band hasn't done so well. Let's see how these did. The seal is still intact. We're gonna listen. There's a satisfying pop. I wish you could try that. That's really complex. Now, if you're like me, you might be wondering why this process is called canning and not jarring. Did you know? Since the 1770s, militaries in Europe have been preserving cooked food in a variety of canisters, from glass jars to tin boxes. The process of preserving food in canisters is called canning. During World War I, factories in Europe and the United States began perfecting this canistering process using cylindrical metal canisters, which eventually came to be known as cans. Now, awkwardly, the can opener had not been invented yet, so soldiers were cutting cans open with bayonets or smashing them open with rocks. And when mason jars became widely available in the 1850s, it became possible for people to conveniently canister things at home using jars, of course. And in 1955, the first can opener was patented, and the rest is history. Although the parts leading up to that were also history. And that's all for today, Apocalypse Scouts. To complete the requirements for your Preserving Stuff in Jars virtual merit badge, preserve some stuff in a jar and tell me about it or post a picture in the comments below. Now please like and subscribe and repeat the Apocalypse Scouts oath. Hope for the best. Prepare for the apocalypse. Until next time, happy trails. And remember, there's no place like the apocalypse.
Pickles, pickles.